Welcome back to Movies on the Brain, where we explore the stories that inspire and move us. I'm Jason, and today we're taking a closer look at the powerful true story behind Stand and Deliver. Directed by Ramon Menendez, Stand and Deliver is based on the true story of Jaime Escalante, a teacher who believed in his students when no one else did. Starring Edward James Olmos, Lou Diamond Phillips, Rosanna DeSoto, this film is a testament to the power of determination and the impact one person can make. In Stand and Deliver, we see Jaime Escalante's unyielding commitment to his students and their incredible journey to overcome the odds. Let's dive into this inspiring story and see how one teacher changed lives. Stand and Deliver opened in theaters on March 11, 1988 with a budget of $1.6 million. During its 7-week theatrical run, it earned a total of $13.9 million. Its opening weekend saw it earn $411,884, while only being shown in 30 theaters, finishing number 15 in the box office that weekend, behind the likes of Moonstruck, Off Limits, Masquerade, Vice Versa, and Good Morning Vietnam, which those were number 5 through 1 respectively, with Off Limits, Masquerade, and Vice Versa opening the same weekend. Its final week in theaters saw it earn $1.3 million while being shown in 424 theaters, finishing its theatrical run at number 14. In the early 1980s, Jaime Escalante became a mathematics teacher at James A. Garfield High School in East Los Angeles. The school is full of Latino students from working class families whose academic achievement is far below their grade level. Two students, Angel and another gangster, arrive late and question Escalante's authority. Escalante demonstrates how to multiply numbers using one's fingers and appeals to the students' sense of humor. After class, some gangsters threaten Escalante. After school, he stops the gangsters from fighting. He then introduces himself as a one-man gang with the classroom as his domain. Escalante tells the students that he has decided to teach them algebra. At a meeting, Escalante learns that the school's accreditation is under threat as test scores are not high enough. Escalante says that the students will rise to the level that is expected of them. Escalante gives the students a quiz every morning, and a new student joins the class. He instructs his class under the philosophy of ganas, roughly translating to desire. Escalante tells other faculty that he wants to teach the students calculus. He seeks to change the school's culture to help the students excel in academics as he has seen the untapped potential of his class. Other teachers ridicule him as the students have not taken the prerequisites. Escalante states that the students can take the prerequisites over the summer. He sets a goal of having the students take advanced placement calculus by their senior year. The students sign up for the prerequisites over the summer. There's no air conditioning, but Escalante is able to teach the class, giving them oranges and telling them to focus so they can get good jobs and take vacations. In the fall, he gives the students a contract to be signed by the parents. They must come in on Sundays, show up an hour early to school, and stay until 5 p.m. in order to prepare for the AP calculus exam. 2 weeks before the students' calculus exam, Escalante is teaching an ESL class to some adults. He suddenly clutches at his torso in pain, tumbles into the hallway, and falls. A substitute teacher is found for the students while Escalante recovers in the hospital. The substitute teacher is a music teacher. Soon after, Escalante escapes from the hospital and shows up at school to continue teaching. After taking the AP calculus exam, the students head to the beach and celebrate. All 18 students who took the exam pass it. At a meeting to congratulate the students, a plaque of appreciation is presented to Escalante. To the dismay of both Escalante and the students, the Educational Testing Service questions the students' exam scores. Escalante finds an anonymous letter of resignation in his school mail. and has to walk home that evening as his car had been stolen from a school parking lot. Dismayed, he confides in his wife that he regrets having taught the students calculus because they did well, but nothing changed for them. Fabiola reassures him, stating that his students appreciate his efforts regardless. This is confirmed when some of them show up at his house with a surprise. They have fixed up his car as a way to thank him. Escalante meets with the investigators from the Educational Testing Service, argues with them, but ultimately offers to have the students retake the test. Despite having only one day to prepare, all the students pass, and Escalante demands that the original test scores be reinstated. The film ends with captions indicating that in the summer of 1982, Escalante's entire class was able to pass AP Calculus, and in subsequent years, his program became even more successful. Now let's look at the cast and some of their other roles they've had. Edward James Olmos as Jaime Escalante. Other roles for Edward James Olmos include Abraham Quintanilla in Selena, Gaff in Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049, and Felipe Reyes in the TV show Mayans MC. Estelle Harris as the secretary. Before her passing in April of 2022, other roles for Estelle Harris were Miss Potato Head in the Toy Story franchise, Muriel in the TV shows The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and Estelle Costanza in the TV show Seinfeld. Virginia Paris as Raquel Ortega. Before her passing in March of 2008, other roles for Virginia Paris were Miss Padilli in Second Thoughts, Anna Perez in the TV movie Missing Pieces, and Miss Burrell in the TV show Santa Barbara. Will Gauthier as Francisco Pancho Garcia. Other roles for Will Gauthier include Luis in Liberty and Bash, Manuel in The Tent Show, and Big John in Vietnam War Story The Last Days. Ingrid Oliu as Guadalupe Lupe Escobar. Other roles for Ingrid Oliu include Daisy in the TV show Fixing Paco, Jennifer in God's Waiting List, and Renee Montoya in the TV show Batman the Animated Series. Carmen Arganzano as Jessie Molina. Before her passing in February of 2019, other roles for Carmen Arganzano include Damien Walsh in Singularity, Ollie in the Single Moms Club, and D.A. Dennis Elroy in the TV show Young and the Restless. Rosanna De Soto as Fabiola Escalante. Other roles for Rosanna De Soto include Sonia in Once Upon a Wedding, Liliana Dominguez in the TV show The Bold and the Beautiful, and Elaine in Family Business. Vanessa Marquez as Ana Delgado. For her passing in August of 2018, other roles for Vanessa Marquez were Montana's daughter in Blood In, Blood Out, Nurse Wendy Goldman in the TV show ER, and Melanie in 20 Bucks. Lou Diamond Phillips as Angel Guzman. Other roles for Lou Diamond Phillips include Richie Valens in La Bamba, Gil Arroyo in the TV show Prodigal Son, and Henry Standing Bear in the TV show Longmire. Carla Montana as Claudia Mayo. The roles for Carla Montana include Maria in Dangerous Touch, Tanya Torres in the TV show The Secrets of Lake Success, and Rosita in Colors. Livia Nicole as Rafaela Fuentes. Other roles for Livia Nicole include Rosa and Rave, Claire in 10 Attitudes, and Detective Rodriguez in Sweet Deadly Dreams. James Victor as Anna's father. Before his passing in June of 2016, other roles for James Victor were Sergeant Jaime Mendoza in the TV show Zorro, Juan Acosta in Gunfighter's Moon, and Antonio's grandfather in Bless Me Ultima. Mark Elliott as Armando Tito Kitaro. Other roles for Mark Elliott include Big T in Eat Your Heart Out, Kazuya Mishima in the TV show Tekken Bloodline, and Ron in Palmdale. Patrick Baca as Javier Perales. This has been Patrick Baca's only role. He is best known as being the casting director for Danger One, Road to Redemption, and Walt Before Mickey. Andy Garcia as Ramirez. Other roles for Andy Garcia include Vincent Mancini in The Godfather Part 3, Lucky Luciano in Hoodlum, and Terry Benedict in Ocean's 11. To be honest, I'd only seen this movie fully one time prior to watching it for this review, and honestly, it really had such a profound effect on me that I may have forgotten some things about it. It's still one of my favorite movies ever. I really enjoyed Edward James Olmos and Lou Diamond Phillips in this. I thought they were really great in this. So were the other actors. And honestly, I feel like this is going to be one of those movies that's going to be talked about for many years to come, which it's already been a few years since it first came out. So I'm not surprised that I thought about it, and I actually have a friend of mine who really enjoyed it. And I think you owe it to yourself to watch it if you haven't yet. But I don't understand why you're watching this review if you haven't watched it yet. I really, one of my favorite things about this movie is the development of Angel going from essentially a thug to actually being smart and having one of the best scores on the AP calculus test. And the fact that it's based on a true story, and Jaime Escalante himself even said that the movie is 90% truth and 10% drama, shows how accurate Ramon Menendez made it. Now let's talk about some of the fun facts and trivia I found out about this movie. Edward James almost remained close friends with Jaime Escalante until Escalante's death on March 30th, 2010. Almost even led a campaign to help pay for Escalante's medical bills, a campaign which included cast members from the movie and former students of Escalante. Edward James almost went through a hair thinning process and gained an estimated 20 pounds for the role of Jaime Escalante. According to Edward James Olmos, he wrote most of his dialogue with Jaime Escalante, and much of it was verbatim what Escalante had said in the real life situations that were depicted in the movie. For instance, Olmos said that the dialogue in the scene where Escalante confronts the ETS investigators about the cheating allegations was word for word what Escalante told the ETS in real life. The character Ana Delgado is the only high school student in the movie based on a real life student. He was based on Leticia Rodriguez, the daughter of the owner of El Farolito, a small family restaurant west of downtown LA, who wanted her to drop out of school to work at the restaurant. Reportedly, the argument between her father and Escalante was as dramatic in real life as it was in the movie. The movie was selected by the Library of Congress for preservation in the National Film Registry in December 2011 as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. Real-life math teacher Jaime Escalante taught calculus at Garfield High School in East Los Angeles for nearly 20 years. Edward James Olmos shadowed Jaime Escalante 18 hours a day and resided in the Escalante home in preparation for the role. First-time writer and director Ramon Menendez and his fellow UCLA Film School graduate Ron Muska secured the movie rights to Jaime Escalante's story for $1. When the project was rejected by independent studios, the filmmakers financed the production with grants and endowments from institutions including PBS. Jaime Escalante's son, Fernando Escalante, was played by Edward James Olmos' real-life son, Bodie Olmos. Although the movie is set at Garfield High School in East Los Angeles, most of the scenes were filmed at Roosevelt High School in Boyle Heights, Los Angeles. Ironically, Roosevelt and Garfield are crosstown rival high schools. And that's it for my review of Stand and Deliver. This film beautifully captures the power of education and the difference one dedicated teacher can make in the lives of his students. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to like and subscribe to Movies on the Brain for more insightful movie discussion. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Stand and Deliver and any other films that inspired you. Share your comments below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep believing in the power of perseverance and the impact of education.